A very good day to you and welcome to Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Jedel Kabira. If you're walking up on Twitter, you've seen that conversation about first one-term president. Will this be William Ruto not coming back after 2027? That's my conversation here with Herman Manyora. What does he need to do to win election? Why are Kenyans declaring doom on him? Prof, thanks for making time. How are you doing today?
Good.
It's a good conversation we're going to have because we're looking at the future, what the future holds. You look at cabinet ministers getting rated horribly. You look at national disaster. Kenyans saying, look, Ruto has handled it horribly. You look at the state of the economy. Horribly, he goes to Mathare, decides to give Kenyans 10,000 to last them for 3 months, says, what are you doing? From where you sit, are all things that are happening with President William Ruto, first of all, normal with other regimes, so that we don't say, this guy has just failed us too much?
Yeah, these things happen. These things happen. The world is facing problems. But like they say in the Holy Book, signs can also come. Signs that tomorrow may not be a good day. Yeah, it looks like there's too much of that in this country. Fake fertilizer, fake certificates, floods, everything just going wrong. Fake ministers, everything just wrong in this country. And people could be tempted to think, well, this spells doom for Ruto.
Some say
I don't blame them.
Some say believe actually the first move was the impeachment of CS Linturi within the National Assembly. Is this the first move that Kenyans were waiting for, to see that the first time President William Ruto is actually facing opposition from his own side, meaning that his first one-term president reality could actually be true?
Yeah, it's possible, it's possible. But you see, I keep telling these politicians, there's so much to learn from, because you are not unique. What you see, the whole book again says what has been before. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, the problems you face, other people have faced them. What do people do when they are faced with this kind of situation that Ruto is facing? You first of all appreciate there's a problem. And if you look at most of these problems, how they are sorted out by leaders, there's never anything tangible. They don't give people anything. They just send signals. And always the first signal to send, which shows you understand the problems and you care, is to shed some little blood. Shed some little blood. It is to reorganize your government. Send close friends home. That's what all leaders do. And then people forget. People, this guy understands our problems. So if the president, instead of sending these people home, instead of grabbing this opportunity that has presented itself through parliament to let these people get impeached, they are again trying to protect them. I was talking to some parliamentary leader from Kenya Kwanza yesterday. I will not name him. He will know if he watches this. He said, Linturi is going nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
And that was what I was going to
ask. A serious House leader.
Says
serious, yeah.
There's the president's hand.
No, I don't want to say. I've not mentioned the president, please. The president is a big man. The president can order you to
Atoli says his word is
no.
Yes. So you don't want to mention him.
Yes.
But you think he's not going home, Linturi?
Yeah, and I was convinced he's not going. So that means nobody seems to understand the gravity of the problem. And on the basis of that, I will not be surprised if the president doesn't get a re-election in 2027.
Some believe for the president to actually be the first one-term president, Rigathi Gachagua must play a big role in removing him from office. He says for the Limuru 2, Limuru 3 meetings that they wanted to put into place, put me first, converse with me because I'm the leader of Mount Kenya. Some Mount Kenya leaders, I think, talking about Rigathi Gachagua actually should vie for presidency in 2027. Does this make sense for you, that Rigathi Gachagua, not just Raila Odinga, but Rigathi can actually pose a big threat?
I have said before, you see, we are looking at the people with a chance to beat the president. And I've identified two already. If you add there Kalonzo, because to be fair to him, they become 3. But 2 have a serious chance to beat the president. Rigathi Gachagua and Musalia Mudavadi. Just that announcing alone, I'm facing Ruto in 27, that shock you send can galvanize votes for you. That shock. If Mudavadi said that, the excitement in the country, the shock, and then the excitement is sufficient to send Ruto home. Because that means you expose the president as vulnerable. And even the people who have not dared to stand against him now stand, diminishing his chances, and you chop you. Same with Gachagua. If Gachagua got wind that Ruto may ditch him come 2027 as running mate, and around 2026 there, he said, you are taking this country the wrong way. I will not allow you. I will not go with you. I'm going to take this power. We gave you this thing and you want to finish our people. We will not allow you. I'm afraid he will beat Ruto.
Could there be any disadvantage of making that move for Rigathi Gachagua?
Of course, there's always the fact that you could lose and go home. You lose the deputy president and you don't get the president. That is the risk you take.
Yeah.
If from Mudavadi you do that, there's comfort. Security, your wife is given an office, all those things you risk losing them if you don't get it. There's always the risk. Then there's Kalonzo if he's fully supported, because this is a Kalonzo moment. Let's say, you know how things work in this world. Everybody seems to think it is Kalonzo's time. Even those who don't support him. People seem to think this is Kalonzo's time. If we were to grab that, he's the third person who has the possibility of beating Ruto. So I said those two, now we can add Kalonzo, even talked about. But then there are other two who where there's no campaign. They just beat Ruto. Kenyatta and the Raila Odinga. Straight, hands down.
Yeah.
Hakuna kubahatisha.
But what is working against Ruto? Because all this comes from a place of confidence these men should have to step aside or to come up and compete against Ruto. But what disadvantage does Ruto have that is imposing on himself that could make all these people come ahead and beat him?
It's just the moves he's making, which he says he can explain. He says, look, gentlemen, you may hate me, but I don't want to be popular. I want to serve my country. 10 years, I want people to remember there was a president called Ruto. But you want me to make you happy now. Then when I go, I leave you in problems. I want you to suffer now. Mpate shida kidogo, pate mtanikumbuka baadaye. You see, so it is his policies that are painful. Painful policies, including taxation. But he's saying it is necessary. Tomorrow mtanikumbuka. The adage, no gain without pain, is what he's applying. He could be right.
But the Kenyans are also looking at wastage too. And you're thinking, Kimani Ichung'wah talking about jets, presidential diet, 700 million, office of the wife of the prime cabinet secretary. There's also that too. All these things are accumulating against him.
Yeah, now they are the painful moves and policies and what have you, taxation measures and laws. But there is also obvious opulence and wastage. So those things combined could make it difficult for him to get re-elected. But there are two things that can work in his favor. One, all these things can be sorted out positively before 2027. Because these things are coming from him. Yeye ndio akona injection. He can just inject people and he can remove all this burden from Kenyans. He can stop ministers from being wasteful. He can sack the bad ministers. You get it? He can end all the wastage in government. He can rescind his decision on certain laws and taxation measures. He can do all that. Or the 3 years from now could be enough for us to begin seeing the benefits he was talking about. So that's one advantage that could make him win 20. There's another advantage, which is that Kenyans rarely go with issues. You can just sweet talk them and they remember. They forget everything. That's how Kenyans are. Kenyans forget very fast. One British Prime Ambassador, High Commissioner, Edward Clay, said we suffer from I think collective amnesia. We just forget. How many things have Kenyans forgotten? Things you would never have imagined they could forget in this country. Bad, huge things. Policies, measures, what have you, thefts, anything. But Kenyans forget. So Ruto should not even worry, because Kenyans will forget all these things. Come voting down a time, they will be convinced in the manner they are always convinced. I don't expect a Kalenjin not to vote for Ruto because there was fake fertilizer and he was the most affected. Look, when the president is celebrating unga prices going down, that maize flour, you see, gentlemen, we got it at plus 200. Now we are almost getting minus 100. Do you know what actually that means? It means he's oblivious of the suffering of the farmer in Rift Valley, who is his main voter. Because if you are going to have maize, I've seen, I came from home yesterday. If maize is like, it's getting to 40 shillings per kilo, even if you had been given a free fertilizer, you can't do another crop the following year. People have maize in the stores in Rift Valley.
Yeah.
But do you think they will not vote for Ruto because of that? They have maize. Where do you sell maize? There's nowhere to sell maize unless you throw it away. And yet some parts of the country, including where I come from, in another 2 months, there will be a harvest.
So what do you think is the easiest route for Ruto not to be this first one-term president? Is it doing the politics?
If I were Ruto, I will not even bother.
Or just
I will not bother because of a number of reasons. One, Gachagua will not run against Ruto. So why would I bother? Mudavadi will not have the courage to run against Ruto. Why would I bother? Kalonzo will not seize the moment that is his. Why would I not bother? Why would I bother? Muhoho will not run for obvious reasons. Why would I bother? Raila may run, but why should I bother? And Raila will not want to be president. So if I was Ruto, I just do my thing the way I'm doing. Because I will be president. Ruto will be president. He will be sworn in 2027 as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Because there is nobody who will stop him from being president, including Raila, who will win against him if he runs. But Raila will not want to take over the power. So Ruto will go to will remain in State House.
So this is actually what made him president.
If I was Ruto, why would I bother?
In 2022?
Yeah, why would I bother?
So this is why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows Kenyans will forget. He knows Rigathi Gachagua will calculate and see the risks and will not run against him. Mudavadi doesn't have the courage to run against him. Kalonzo will not seize the moment. If Raila stands, he will not want to be president. So if I were Ruto, why would I bother? So, if anybody is listening, tell President Ruto to continue doing what he's doing. Hata kama ni kukanyaga hiyo watu, kanyaga kabisa.
Kenyans will still vote for you.
They will vote for you because, and I've told you, it is possible the president is right. I know some people will not like that, what I've just said. It is possible he's right, that these measures will bear fruit. It's possible. But what is more possible, and what will actually happen, is that Kenyans will vote for Ruto in 2027. The only man who can get the votes higher than Ruto is Raila Odinga. But unfortunately, for those who love Raila, unfortunately for Ruto, Raila would not want to be president. So why would Ruto bother?
Well, what a place to wrap up. First one-term president, will it be President William Ruto? Does Raila want to be president? In case you missed yesterday's conversation, you can watch on that. What it takes for Raila to become the president of this republic in 2027. Till we do talk again, have yourself a lovely rest of your day.